Okay. Looks like. Okay, looks like we're recording. Jim, go ahead. Please go ahead and take it over.
Can you hear me okay, Yasi, everyone?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, great. So hi, everyone. This is Jim Sporer. I'm on the board of directors of ISSIP since it was founded in 2012, June of 2012. Once every quarter, we have a video call that has two purposes. First purpose is we like to bring our board of directors together quarterly to review the progress, the great progress that ISSIP has been making. And
Sunil Kripalani.
Join the meeting.
And give an update to the members. So welcome, everyone. These quarterly meetings are open to all ISSIP members, and I'll try to be efficient getting through my portion of the presentation, because sometimes ISSIP's done so much in the quarter, we get to the end and we don't have any time for discussion.
Ken Patton from Cisco.
Join the meeting.
So my goal in this meeting today is to cover some of the great progress that ISSIP's been making very concisely. So if we go to the next slide, we see the meeting agenda. We're going to cover an awful lot of topics here. So again, I'm going to just give a little bit of each one. This video recording is going to be posted, and the slides are going to be posted to the ISSIP website. You can find it under, I think, Community or Events Board of Directors. So if you go to the next slide, the first thing that we would like to do, and Rama hopefully will be joining us later in this call, I know she had a conflict for the first part, is to honor our outgoing president. Our president for 2018 was Rama Akkaraju.
Pankaj Srivastava.
Join the meeting.
I'm delighted to say I get to work with Rama on a regular basis, because Rama is a distinguished engineer at IBM in our Watson group, in our AI group. And so I get to work with Rama regularly. It was terrific when she was actually part of the Almaden Services Research Group years ago. So Rama has made contributions to service research, artificial intelligence, and most recently, as president of ISSIP in 2018, she launched two of our new initiatives in artificial intelligence, an open datasets project and an AI services evaluation project that's on GitHub. And we've got some slides coming up that are more about those. A lot of other accomplishments that you can read there under Rama's, the bullet points there. But I do want to just say that we're incredibly grateful to Rama for all she was able to accomplish in ISSIP in this last year. And if we go to the next slide, we want to welcome some new leadership. Heather Yurko is our ISSIP president for 2019. She was our vice president last year. Heather has a portion of this video call, where she's going to take us through the plan for 2019. So you'll all get a chance to get to know Heather a little bit. Heather is the global channels management of Facebook, the director of that. And prior to that, she was at Cisco, leading lots of interesting things. As you can see, she's won many awards, and we're really delighted to have Heather as our ISSIP president in 2019. We had an election for our vice president, and the winner of the election was Gerhard Gütergen from Aachen University in Germany. And Gerhard is a distinguished professor there who's done a lot of great work around business transformation, digital transformation, smart services, participated in many ISSIP events over the years, and very importantly, part of the service innovation blocks, service innovation SIG, special interest group that both Heather and Gerhard were part of. And so when we think of the service innovation blocks, we always think of the great contribution that Gerhard and Heather made. So it's terrific to have them both in leadership positions for ISSIP in 2019. So if we go to the next slide, these are some of the highlights of Q4. Again, we have these two OpenAI projects that I'll describe in a little bit more detail. Already mentioned our VP elections. This third one is a very important one because the application is still open. There still is time for groups to submit Service Excellence and Service Innovation Award nominations. I saw one come in this morning that Yasi was circulating. This is an annual award that ISSIP gives, and any ISSIP member can nominate things that they see related to startups, public sector, things in corporations, things in academic, government, for this Service Excellence Award. Also, we held multiple workshops at the HICS conference this year in Hawaii. It was the first week of January. Workshops related to the future of work. It was a very successful, well-attended workshop. One on AI and bias and fairness was also held.
Sorry. Okay, this is the next slide. Sorry, Jim.
I always click around too. This is more information about submitting for the ISSIP Excellence in Service Innovation Award. And there's the link, and the deadline's coming right up, midnight tomorrow here, Pacific time. So last year, recipients are called out a little bit on this page as well. And most importantly, if you want to submit an awards nomination, it's awards@issip.org is where you're going to send your document. It can be relatively short, and there's a description at that URL if you want to find out more. So next slide. So the first of the AI projects that, this is, the OpenAI project was launched. This is on GitHub, so you can go out and actually see the code. And what it is there's a lot of different speech recognition models out there. There's a lot of image recognition models. And what this team put together, Lakshmi, Mala, Rizan, and Gandhi was the leader of this framework, is a system where you can go out and test out the different models that are available from different vendors, different research groups. It's a framework for adding more types of
Join the meeting.
Comparisons and benchmarks about different AI models that are out there. It's really kind of fun to use, so I recommend people go out and give it a try. And if you are a programmer and would like to, or a data scientist or an AI developer, we would certainly, or if you have people with those skills in your organization, university, or corporation, we would certainly invite them to contact Gandhi or just go out and take a look at what's there and see if they have ideas for contributing. If we go to the next slide, this was another AI-related project that Kasav, who's a student at Berkeley, led. He created a open datasets project on the ISSIP website. One of the biggest challenges if you're an AI researcher or data scientist is finding datasets, and there's now a way for you not only to find lots of useful datasets on the ISSIP website, but you can also contribute. And you can learn more by going out to the link about ISSIP Open AI Project. Next slide, please. So a lot of us, you can see in the tiny picture down there at the bottom, a few of us that were on this call anyway, were recently at the HICS conference in Hawaii, the Hawaiian International Conference on System Sciences. There's a little bit of a description about the workshops that were run, as well as a research mini track on smart service systems. One of the big things that happened from my perspective at the conference is that we signed one of our first memorandums of understanding between ISSIP and the Society for Serviceology, which is a organization primarily based in Japan, organizing service knowledge across different industries. Kazuyoshi Hidaka is the president of the Society for Serviceology, and he, along with Heather, who had just become ISSIP's president in 2019, signed the memorandum of understanding, and witnessing it was myself, Haluk, Yassi, and Rama. So that was a really significant event that happened recently. We also did the annual Best Paper Awards. ISSIP is a sponsor of the HICS conference, and we also selected 5 Best Paper Awards. And for people who are interested in those, we always invite our Best Paper Award winners to present in our CSIG Thursday Speaker Series. So I'll let you just send the list of papers there. And I've taken my 11 minutes, Yassi, so I think I'm ready to hand it over to Heather. I think I did it efficiently and on schedule.
Yes, very good.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, and I'll hand it over to Heather to take us through ISSIP Strategy 2019. Heather, all yours.
Heather may be on mute.
No, she's not on mute. Nope. Oh boy. Sound check.
Okay. Well, I can I can go through it while Heather joins. Heather, if you can hear me, just interrupt me when you're here.
She nodded and gave 2 thumbs up, so I think if you could take us through it, Yassi, that would be good.
Sure.
Works on their sound.
So the 2019 ISSIP strategy, we're going to focus on the 2 themes, AI and future of work. AI is the theme that our 2018 president, Rama Karaju, led us to focus on. And then future of work has been a theme that we've been developing in ISSIP over the last couple of years. So we will stay focused on those 2 themes for obvious reasons. Those are very germane to both academia and industry. And so the programs that we will be focusing on. So Jim talked about the OpenAI project, and in addition to the OpenAI project, there is the Cognitive System Institute called, which is a community that Susan Malaika leads, and Susan will tell you more about that. But we see these 3 programs as a cornerstone of our theme, and we're going to grow that and get all the community involved. So if you're interested, please send an email.
On the controls, I just saw a note from Heather asking if you can unmute the 646 number. So maybe get everybody on mute. Do you know how to do that?
Let me see. 646. Okay.
Yes.
You're unmuted. Heather,
hi, can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I confuse the heck out of people because I'm dialing in and then also on video, because I found that it maintains the video stability a little bit better than calling from my laptop. So
okay.
Sorry about that. So yeah, thank you so much for kicking us off on the strategy this year, Yassi.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, and as Yassi had said, we want to absolutely continue the fantastic work that Rama and team have done around AI and continue to build on that. And so looking at that first group, that's really continuing to build upon the work that's already happening within ISSIP and offering all those great services to all of our members, as well as continuing to build those out. So we're looking for active participation. Certainly take advantage of those services and encourage folks from within your organizations to contribute to those as well. Thinking about some of the other things that we're looking at, one is focusing on discovery summits. We had done one last fall on future of work and AI, And we're looking at going a little bit deeper into leveraging AI, potentially for talent management, and also looking within the area of healthcare. So how can we leverage some of the work that's already been done and continue to expand it in some of these new areas where we've seen industry and academia both starting to lean and dig into a bit more. As far as the conferences go, there are a number that we already have coming up as far as what we have on the books. We know that HICS we attend every year along with HFE, Naples Forum Frontiers in Science, as well as some additional work that we're trying to do with serviceology. So trying to see if there's a potential joint venture, so to speak, that we can do with them as part of the MOU that we signed together. When we go to these conferences, ISSIP is generally a sponsor. We also look for best paper awards where we can partner with academia and seeing what students can best present and take advantage of, again, those connections between academia and industry there. As far as books and other publications go, we have been actively publishing through Business Education Press, and so we want to continue to grow our paper publications. We look to all of our Discovery Summits to produce publications that come out of those as white papers. And Yassi, I know there are a couple in progress right now. I don't know if we have any updates on those that you'd like to share with the team.
You know, there's one out of the Future of Work Discovery Summit from last September that we're working on, which, you know, we expect its publication sometime this year. You know, more out of these Discovery Summits will come. And also the series itself is more expansive than what we are doing with Discovery Summits. So there is a pipeline of 12, and Haluk will talk about that a little bit more.
Excellent. Thanks so much.
Sure.
As far as our awards go, as Jim had mentioned, we look for the Excellence in Service Innovation Award as an annual award. That's in progress right now. Highly encourage you to nominate and to encourage your peers to also nominate. We do give Best Paper Awards, as I mentioned, at the conferences that we attend, as well as having ISSIP fellowships. And so awards are available for qualified nominees within that category as well. Three other things that we're looking to do this year. One is a generalized hackathon. And so we're exploring right now how we can bring various problems from industry to academia to solve. So this would be a great opportunity for students to jump in and really help solve some of the pressing issues and things top of mind from folks in industry. So we're working on some of that right now. We'll have additional details going into the 1Q review. And so we'll have more updates at our next board of directors meeting on that. And if anyone is interested in leading, participating in that hackathon, please do reach out to either Yassi or myself, and we'll see how we can get you pulled into to working on that. Internships are another key area that we're expanding this year. We want to be able to leverage student teams, joint and tax student teams from various universities to work on industry challenges on various ISSIP members. So again, if you are in industry and you would love to take advantage of a student team as part of your membership, please do reach out. If you have student teams, reach out to Haluk to learn a little bit more about how you can get your university and your students involved in that. And then finally, badging and certifications. Through various works that we've done across ISSIP over the last few years, we have some great publications. We have an entire service innovation framework as well. And so we're looking to develop badging around various activities that people can take advantage of through ISSIP and participate in or lead, as well as certifications around some of the frameworks that we've developed. And so we'll have additional information on that. So again, if you have done curriculum building in the past and are interested in helping out and volunteering with that, or developed any badging programs, again, please reach out. We'd love to have some additional guidance help as we continue to build those out throughout this year. Let's go on to the next slide. And finally, I'd love to welcome our new ambassadors. We have 3 new ambassadors for ISSIP this year. The first is Christine Leitner, who is a senior advisor and one of the co-founders for the Center of Economics and Public Administration in London. So she'll be the ISSIP ambassador to SIPA. The second is Christina Mele, who's a professor at the University of Naples. And so she'll be ISSIP's ambassador to the conference as well as HFSE, SE. And finally, Francesco Polese, who is a professor of business management at Salerno University. And along with Christina, he will also be an ambassador for the Naples conference. Thanks so much, Kathy. Back to you.
Sure, and I think Christine and Christina are both on, so welcome. Wonderful to have you. Okay, next, more events. Haluk, do you want to pick it up from here? Is Haluk on? I saw him earlier. If not, I don't see him anymore. Okay, I'll cover this one. So we had a number of events. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, clearly. Yep.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I was lost. All right, so we had a number of events in 2018. The very recent one was, of course, HICS 52, which was technically in 2019, but all the preparation for it was done in 2018. Then before that, we had a mini workshop at a virtual event at the IBM Almaden that was telecast at the Fraunhofer Institute. And we had 2 discovery summits this year, one on future of jobs, and the other one was a collaboration with JSC on AI innovation in healthcare. Both were in San Jose area. We also had the 9th International Conference on Applied Human Factors. Professor Luc Brund and Jim have been our ambassadors to this conference, and also Clara Bassano to this conference. And we continue to support that event. And then earlier in 2018, we had a workshop at JSC on challenges of Society 5.0. As many of you know, Society 5.0 is a Japanese government initiative that, with partnership with JSC, ISSIP has participated in workshops in support of that. And then last but not least, we had our sponsorship of HICS 51. And then, we had basically partnership with all these organizations in that you see the logos in driving these. What we have planned for this year and into next year. So you heard about the HICS conference. We are in the process of planning for the Discovery Summit this year. Heather mentioned that. We're focusing more on talent management and also looking at doing something in healthcare. We did a sponsorship of a Service Women in Technology conference, which was actually scheduled for November 16th of 2018. But that got postponed because of California fires. In fact, that got postponed to March of this year. We are also looking at collaborating with Society for Serviceology with their conference in March 2019, and the details of that is being planned. We'll continue to participate in the Naples Forum. And with human side of service engineering, what will be going forward, what will be happening, that conference has been part of AHSE for the last 6 years. What going forward, to make it more international, the conference organizers are switching between the US and somewhere like in Europe or in Asia. This year it will be part of the Naples Forum on Service. We'll continue to collaborate with Frontiers in Service. That's coming in July of this year. And we've already started discussing some of the things that we'll be doing at 653. And last but not least, both IBM and University of Washington, thanks to Naguib Attia from IBM and Professor Haluk Demirkan of University of Washington, Director of Center for Business Analytics. ISSIP is basically, will be sponsoring with their guidance more Best Student Paper Awards this year. So they provided the funding, that's the funding we used for the HICS 2019 Best Paper Award, and we have a pool of more awards for this year with collaboration with IBM and University of Washington.
And Yassi, I noticed that Haluk joined and Rama joined. So
okay, great.
I don't know if Haluk can say something. And
sure. So Haluk is actually Haluk. Do you want to? I went through the event. Do you want to walk us through your book publications?
Sure. I have been actually on the call for a while, so no big deal.
Oh, sorry.
Sure. Am I sound okay? My sound?
Yes.
Okay. Somehow my internet is freezing up time by time. So thank you, Yassi, and first of all, thank you everybody for being on this call. This is one of the projects Jim and I we started a few years back. So the idea with this is we wanted to create a platform for all the ISSIP members to basically contribute content and disseminate knowledge. So we have this book series. They are very short, 50, 60 page long books. Most authors are professionals and some senior academicians, and also most readers are professionals. So so far we have 34 books being published, and Jim and our role is basically playing an editor-in-chief role to help out and assist authors to write their content and also work with publisher for the publication contract and stuff. So far 34 has been published, 12 is in progress. And if anybody would like to write a book, please let us know. We can share further information on this. And I'm not sure if Jim, would you like to say a word on these books or?
No, just I'm looking at a stack about 3 feet high that I have in my office of all the books in the series. So, but yeah, as you said, it's a great opportunity for people in industry. Maybe you've got a long blog series and you're thinking, boy, someday I'd like to condense that into a book. Or you're an academic and you've published 2 or 3 journal articles, and yeah, you've got some ideas about how to revise them in a new way or organize your history of publications in some new way, especially if it focus on service innovation. Then we would love to invite you to think about publishing a book in the series. They're short books, you know, as Haluk said, so a little bit less work than the long books, and we welcome you to think about something you'd like to publish in the series.
Thank you. Thank you, Yassi.
Thank you, Haluk. And I'm going to invite Rama once we finish the slides to say a few words. So I did see Rama joining too. So
Yassi, one last thing on the book series.
Sure.
One of the ideas that we've had is obviously there's a lot of service research centers around the world, and maybe we could have a book from each service research center. So Christoph, that idea is for you. I know you've had years of projects and stuff, and it might be nice to have a book that you could summarize some of that into the book series.
Okay, great. The next thing is the ISSIP NSF proposal. We actually submitted a proposal to NSF just shortly before our government closed. So, and thankfully that has been open now. The award size is $87K. It is, for those of you who know about NSF Awards, it's an application for a workshop while we'll be doing some research with industry. It is not a research proposal, but workshop proposal. But the idea is to get perspective from industry on how they see this as how they would like to see the future of higher education. So the estimated start time was the first quarter of 2019, but given I just heard from NSF that things are going to be delayed, and so as soon as we hear from NSF, we're going to have a date for, first whether we got the award, and then hopefully a date. And the outcome of that is going to be a book through Business Expert Press. I saw Susan on. Susan, would you like to say a few words about the Cognitive Computing Institute speaker series?
Sure. Yeah. So we had about 40 talks in 2018. They were very varied on all sorts of topics related to AI, and we were hoping to classify them all over the vacation, but that didn't happen. The vacation season, the holiday season of Christmas and New Year. I'm taking a bit of a sabbatical at the moment, but should kick them off again in February. And I'm looking forward to suggestions from people on this call, if they could put suggestions for speakers in the chat. Usually we have anything between 20 to 120 attendees on each session, depending on the subject matter. I'm also very eager to get ideas on how to publicize and where to publicize as well.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, great, Susan. Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
I was just going to add that the part of the Susan sabbatical is we have the IBM Think 2019 conference coming up in San Francisco, and there's quite a bit of work to do for that big conference. But Susan's usually in New York, but she'll be in San Francisco in a few weeks for that big Think event. And I do think it would be a great idea to, if people on this call have ideas on how to get more advertising, I guess, for this series. There's lots of talks in the series that are recorded, and we've had as many as I think 300 people on one of the presentations, and generally people who attend seem to rate it pretty highly. So I think it's one of the many ISSIP jewels that people should know more about. And if you've got ideas for giving a presentation, please do contact Susan or myself, and we can find a way to get you scheduled into the series.
Yeah, and some of the recordings, by the way, Jim, have I saw one with 500 replays. So the replays are getting a lot of attention too.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Susan, for volunteering.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to second that. I want to really thank you, Susan, for your leadership on this. This is a great series, and your energy and leadership has really driven it to grow. So thank you so much.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, so overview of other special interest groups. So education and research. In 2018, the SIC participated and led a number of programs at HICS, both 2018 and 2019. Helped us do the Student Best Paper Award at HICS 2018 and 2019 through University of Washington. And I want to really thank Professor Haluk Demirkan for that. He's our ambassador to HICS, and he's done a phenomenal job in strengthening that partnership. The Service Innovation Framework, that SIC continues to, is basically working on a book. Heather mentioned the Service Innovation Framework. We have called it People-Centered Innovation Methodology, which is a methodology and a set of tools. We call it Service Innovation Blocks. A group of us are developing a book through Business Expert Press. And this year, our goal is to publish this book, and in collaboration with the Education and Research SIG, and something that Luke is also leading, is Professor Stephen Kwan as well, to come up with certifications and badging around that. So this is very early now, but that's something we are exploring. Service design SIG, the SIG took a bit of hiatus this past year, and we're now talking to Daniela San Giorgi, who we're gonna try to reignite it by through a speaker series where PhD students actually come and present their work, which we think will be of interest to other members of ISSIP. And then SDN SIG last year was put on hold, and basically now we're exploring how to have a tighter collaboration with some of the more mainstream things that are happening in ISSIP, the conferences that we sponsor and publications and whatnot. Our ambassadors, we had 3 additional ambassadors in 2018, which Heather introduced, 2 of whom are here. There have been a lot of activities on the ambassadors front, and I'm not going to read each of them, but ambassadors are really what help us co-create with other institutions. And Haluk, of course, has been instrumental for HICS. Professor Lou Frond and Jim have been driving our partnership with AHSE and human side of service engineering. Christine Leitner, who is one of our new ambassadors, will be our ambassador to the Naples Forum. And have already started planning the human side of service engineering track at that conference. Frontiers in Service, Jim has been leading that effort, and of course, Alexandra Medina Borja has given us great guidance about NSF and NSF workshops. Dr. Zami Temesgen from Mayo Clinic proposed a workshop with World Health Organization on AI and precision medicine, and we're exploring that, how we could partner on that. And then David Lindemann from Citrus has been instrumental in collaborating on several fronts with Citrus. Hidaka-san, as you heard, we just signed an MOU, and we plan to do a tighter collaboration with Society for Serology. And last but not least, Clara Bassano and Paolo Picciocchi, who have been for many years our ambassadors to the Italian service science community and AHSE and Human Side of Service Engineering. So thanks to all of our ambassadors.
And Yasi, I would just like to add, since Christine Mele is on and Francesco Pelosi, they were two other ambassadors for this year who I believe it's the 10th, the 10th Naples Forum is, or 10 years, so it's the 5th Naples Forum. Christina Mele may correct me, but I want to thank them for becoming ISSIP ambassadors. There are also leaders in the Italian service science community, and the Naples Forum on Service, again, I think it's its 10th year, draws a lot of global attention. Lots of people from all over the world go to that conference. So ISSIP is looking forward to becoming a sponsor of the Naples Forum on Service, and looking forward to Best Paper Awards there. So thank you, Christina and Francesco, in addition to Christine Leitner, who is also helping with that. So just add that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jim. And sorry I missed that. Okay, next one is the progress on the newsletter and our wonderful ISSIP editors. Dr. Salvador Mochia and Michelle Tomek have been co-editors of ISSIP newsletter. For those of you who are reading the ISSIP newsletter, you can see how much the quality has improved over the last several months. For each session, for each of the newsletter issues, they have had a service innovator they have interviewed, and they're tapping into the ambassadors pipeline for interviews. And if you would like to be interviewed by them, you can send an email to editor@issip.org if you wouldn't let the community know about your work. You know, they're always looking for service innovators to interview. And also, if you have content that you would like to be covered in the ISSIP newsletter, you can send content, basically messages to content@issip.org, and they will collect that and will share with the greater community. So please use the ISSIP newsletter. It's a great way to connect to the community. And we're really grateful to Salvador and Michelle for their great work on the newsletter. I'm not going to go through this list, but our number of active volunteers, and we measure that by participating in at least one ISSIP initiative, grew to 86 last year. I think was 75 or so. Still, you know, ISSIP being having more than 1,300 people on its membership roster, that number really needs to be improved, and we need to, you know, we're looking constantly to create programs that we can engage more of our members. So if you have ideas and if you want to get involved and you think we could, there are things that you could be doing more of that would get you interested, please contact me directly. So many thanks to our volunteers. Update on institutional membership. We continue to co-create with our existing members, IBM, Cisco, JSC, a number of other, San Jose State University, University of Washington, University of Salerno, Naples, Gachan University, a number of others. Sorry if I'm missing any. And we are continuing to explore with the enterprises that you see here, how we can co-create value. The companies that you see here, individuals from those companies have been active in ISSIP and helping us to co-create a value proposition. We're also experimenting with a couple of new ideas. As Heather mentioned, one we started last year. Basically, we think a chain of surveys for industry challenges going into a discovery summit trust business expert press book with position statements from industry leaders could really be of value. Plus internship of teams of students for industry challenges, and ISSIP as an aggregator of hackathons. Also, we're exploring that. And if you represent a company here and you would like your organization to become a member, please send me an email. We would love to talk to you. Individual membership update. So the number of registered members in our database basically grew from 1259 to 1357. It's about an 8% growth. The breakup, interestingly, slates exactly the same. You know, although we had some growth, we are asking constantly, we're asking ourselves, how can we improve this at a much more rapid rate? If you have any ideas, let us know.
Yeah, I'll just chime in on this. So IBM, for example, has hundreds of thousands of service innovation professionals around the world. So clearly, you know, I worked at IBM. We have quite a few service innovation professionals around the world. And I think we're going to really make an extra effort push this year to get some sort of service innovation self-assessment on the ISSIP website. So service innovation, so service professionals can come in, do a self-assessment of their service innovation competencies, knowledge, skills. And we're hoping that by providing that free self-assessment to service professionals, we can really boost the number of ISSIP members globally. And as we create additional certification programs, badging programs, we think we can grow the numbers even larger. So if anyone on the call is especially excited about, you know, a service innovation self-assessment or badges or different types of certifications, or you're teaching a service innovation course at your university, please do contact me and come forward, and I'm happy to work with you on that.
Great, thanks, Jim. And finally, summary of the financials. I'm going to leave it there for a little while. I'm not going to go through the details of this. And two other operations related items. Our annual report will be available on the ISSIP website by end of next week, and tax forms will be completed before May 15, 2019. And we'll open it up to Q&A, but before that, I want to thank Rama for having been a wonderful president in 2018. And Rama, Jim, thank you. And I'm wondering if you want to say a couple of words, and if others want to say a couple of words.
Oh, I think we've said a lot of it via email. I just want to say the pleasure is all mine. It's been a wonderful 1 year journey for me, leading up to it, 1 year as vice president, more closely being involved with ISSIP, although I've always been involved in ISSIP Discovery Summits and benefited greatly from it and was part of this community. This is an awesome and passionate team of professionals, who volunteer their time to do various things, big and small, to advance service innovation agenda. So this is, I would say it again, it's been my pleasure to get to know some of you more closely by working with you more closely in 2018, and with several of you, my paths crossed. Be it Salvatore as part of the newsletters, or be it with some of the remote folks who I don't get to see them in person, but still interacted with them. Thanks to all of you. It's been a great journey. And I honestly, when I reflect back and say, we've done some good work in 2018, but there is a lot more to do. But there is no reason to stop all the good work that we started. So the good news is we are going to continue all of the AI related projects that we started in 2018. So every so often I'll keep coming back and giving you all updates on that. And hopefully we move the needle a little bit in the positive direction, as Jim put it. But there is a long ways to go. And this ISSIP team is a fantastic team. So with Heather at the helm in 2019, and Yassi, you being there, and Jim being always there to be the coach, guide, mentor for the entire team, and with great energy, continued energy from Ralph and Haluk and the new entrants who are joining and giving their time. This is a great team. We have a great team on board, and I'm sure ISSIP will continue to grow and do great things in the area of service innovation. It's been my pleasure. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, Rama.
Thank you, Rama. I'm applauding.
Taking a bow. Thank you.
So we have a few more minutes left. I welcome everyone to, if you have anything on your mind.
I'd just like to say thank you, Yassi and Rama and Jim. I didn't know much about ISSIP at the beginning of last year, and I feel like I've come a long way in sort of understanding the mission and what you're doing and being able to contribute to some of it. So look forward to doing more like that going forward.
Great, Pankaj. Yeah, we need you and your team's involvement more going forward. You have a lot of important perspectives to bring to services field and service innovation. So we're looking forward to your ideas and contributions.
Yeah,
we need to publish our book soon, because the future of work, that area is so hot that stuff is changing rapidly. It was, if you followed the World Economic Forum at Davos recently, I know from IBM, our CEO and chairman and some of the senior vice presidents were there. There were some very interesting studies presented at Davos on how occupations are changing, what kind of people can be reskilled. In fact, it was very interesting for me, some of the ideas that I've contributed to the book we are coming out with. What we are doing in IBM at the employee level is what they were discussing at a societal level. So it was actually a very good validation of some of the work we are doing, including there was some analytical work done to prepare some reports. So anyway, I think it's a hot area, so we should, I think we can publish what we've already come up with and refine it, but it's also evolving very fast.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm delighted that you're part of this conversation with us. And, I will be in touch soon as far as the book is concerned, but we do plan to publish it soon.
If we're in the discussion part, I did want to just mention that Bert Painter is on the call, and Bert and I have been having some very interesting discussions. Bert is a leader in the socio-technical system design community, and they're going to be having a conference down in probably LA in September and there'll be notifications, I'm sure, in the ISSIP newsletter about that coming up. But Bert, welcome to I think this may be your first ISSIP video call, so thanks for joining.
Just a question, Yassi. Is there a ISSIP group in LinkedIn, or can we create a group like that in LinkedIn?
There is a group. I'll send you an invite.
Okay.
And in fact, I'll send everyone here an invite if you're not part of the LinkedIn group. Jim, I think Jim just put the LinkedIn group URL. So please join that.
Thanks.
Okay, any?
Hi all, I'm Scott McLeod. I'm glad to say that the Chancellor of the California's community colleges is speaking at Stanford later on today, and I'm going to go and hear that. I'm curious if there's any possible interest in collaboration between ISSIP and, say, growing membership. This is maybe 130 community college campuses all across California. It's an interesting possible direction. Just want to put that out on the table.
Thanks, Scott. Okay. Any other comments?
Great progress. 2019 is off to a great start.
Indeed. I saw your help and everybody joining.
Yeah, absolutely. We have 3 minutes left if you.
We haven't heard from Ralph. If Ralph. Ralph is on the board?
Yeah, I'm here.
How's life, Ralph? Any update?
But no, I'm really pleased to see the progress we're making and building on what we've done in the past. I think we've got a lot of momentum going.
Agreed. All right.
Thanks to our great community.
I don't know if there's any other board members on the call that we haven't heard from, but I think we've heard from everyone. We've heard from Haluk.
Yeah. Amar. Amar is the only one we probably haven't heard from.
Amar.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm glad to see the progress.
Yeah.
Good work and looking forward for another year.
And congratulations to you on your book getting those honors. You might want to.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Give a plug for your Internet of Things book and some of the other work you did.
Yeah, appreciate it, Jeff.
Yeah.
We should definitely socialize that in the ISSIP newsletter, Amar. I don't know what's going on. Forgive my ignorance, but.
Yeah, there is an interview being scheduled right now.
Excellent.
So it will come up. Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Wonderful. Okay, great. Anyone else? We got 1 minute. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day or evening, depending on where you are. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Yassi.
Thanks, Yassi.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.